Thanksgiving is right around the corner here in Canada and just a couple more weeks away in the US, and Christmas is hot on the heels. You're already thinking about it, aren't you? But are your family celebrations not like something out of a Hallmark card? Or are they more likely to be jaw clenching, nerve jangling events just to be gotten through so that you can get to the next day and put it behind you? Today on The Oldish, we're going to talk about family holidays and some coping strategies. My name is Karen Brown. I'm the publisher and editor of theoldish.com, and as always, it is my pleasure to welcome you here today. Now, holidays always have a lot of moving parts. Families naturally come together with a huge age range, interests that are probably twice as diverse, and traditions that hold us together, but for many, force us to relive behaviors that maybe we're not so comfortable with anymore because we don't remember what the traditions were all about. There's a reason for the popularity of the expression, friends are family we choose. Have you heard that before? It's true. It's not uncommon for families to be divided and indeed estranged. At times, the issues that divided families are very difficult to remember, and nobody wants to be the first to give in. In the case of estrangement, though, there are a lot of healthy reasons for family members to be estranged from one another, including the fact that somebody may have been abusive or controlling or unaccepting of certain lifestyle changes. Under those circumstances, the traditional family get-togethers can force people to relive traumatic events and arguments that separated them to begin with. And depending on the circumstances, they could do more harm than good. The establishment of new holiday traditions with a new partner's family, or that chosen family of friends, could bring us the warmth and the comfort we all crave at Christmas time. For some, the actual day can be upsetting as we see other families celebrate. But remember, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and you never know what those public smiles are hiding. According to one statistic I read, a little over half of us look forward to spending time with family for a holiday, although 84% will do it anyway. So a little over half of us are looking forward to it. That means that a little less than half are not. But most of us are going to do it anyway. The same survey, which covered over 4,000 people in 8 European countries, plus the US, indicated that 61% anticipate arguments. So we're walking in the door with 2/3 of us expecting that before the sun goes down, there's going to be an argument. 34%, this is good, 34% of people felt that people overstayed their welcome after one day or less at Christmas. So clearly, we have issues with holidays. The issues related to older adults can be quite challenging to navigate in the midst of all of that angst that we just talked about. If an elderly parent is brought into a home from either their own home or a retirement facilities, it's more likely the things like movement, diet, medication, and hearing-related challenges that are going to cause them angst. So this needs to be addressed, along with the older adult's tolerance for spending that time in a busy and noisy environment. Imagine being an older adult who uses a cane, wears a hearing aid, takes regular medications, and has diet restrictions. That's a very common scenario for a lot of us as we age. Imagine this person trying to navigate a home that is crowded with not only people, but multiple conversations banging off the walls. Smartphones and game consoles making noises, beeping and bumping and carrying on. Children and pets running to and fro. Foods that are outside of our normal comfort zone. It's all just really too much to bear for some people. Just trying to get to the bathroom alone with your walking aid can be challenging when there are people everywhere and you're trying to navigate them. It can be a chore trying to sort out which conversation is directed at you and which other multiple conversations don't need your participation, but with a hearing aid, you might be hearing all of those conversations anyway. It's very difficult. And then you have to keep children and four-legged pets from those medications, which, let's face it, a lot of times look like candy these days. All in all, you can understand the deep sigh when we all get home to our regular environments and away from the celebration, which was intended to bring joy to begin with. So set all of this against a backdrop of family angst, arguments about who knows what, teenagers who would rather be anywhere than there. And you can understand that we all just want to get to tomorrow. Some psychologists feel that it's not the holidays themselves, but the expectations that we set up for ourselves in advance that are the problem. So let's deal with those. Let's deal with those expectations, because it's better to do it now than as we move forward. Is spending 3 days or more preparing a meal that's consumed in 10 minutes really a realistic thing? Because I know that I have spent that time, and you feel that people don't really appreciate the time that you put into it. And that can set the hairs on the back of your neck up. How about assigning meals or dishes within the meal to everybody? And you do have to assign it, because otherwise you're going to end up with 6 casseroles, 3 salads, and no turkey. So maybe if you do that, everybody can have a piece of preparing the holiday meal, and not one person has to spend all of those hours and feel that nobody's grateful for it. Ask older adults what they want. Do they want to come to the house and get it over with in one fell swoop? Or would they rather have several small family visits in the place where they live? If you have a grandma or a grandpa, for instance, and there are 3 kids, they're all married and they have families of their own, maybe 3 separate visits is better and shorter. But do remember to bring the refreshments so that mom, dad, grandma, grandpa don't feel that they have to be charged with taking care of this. Don't forget to leave the leftovers there as well, so that they can perhaps entertain the next door neighbor or another friend. If the older adult does indeed want to come to the house, make sure that you make adequate preparations. Designate a chair that has a good path to the bathroom, because there will be several visits. Make sure that the path can accommodate a walker if that's what is used. Make plans to store the medications away from little children and pets who might get their noses into purses. Set timers to make sure that those medications are taken on time. Have enough food that is within the older person's comfort zone and diet to make sure that they're comfortable and they can feel like they're participating without anticipating 3 or 4 days of stomach upset afterward. Offer a nap at an appropriate time in a quiet location that is away from everybody else. We have lots of articles at theoldish.com that deal with this kind of preparation and give even more suggestions. So go to theoldish.com and in the search bar type holiday preparations, and you'll find those articles easily. Above all, respect the wishes of family members. While some look forward to the family gatherings and everything that comes with them, it's not everybody's cup of tea. If there's tension, respect the boundaries. If there are subjects that rankle, make a pact to avoid them. Yeah, really make a pact to avoid them. Discuss ahead of time that you're going to not discuss certain subjects. Instead, go in with an attitude of seeking peace and joy. Isn't that the message of the season anyway? Keep an eye on alcohol consumption, because there is nothing that will destroy that pact quicker than somebody who overindulges. Accept that old family traditions may need to be adjusted or may need to be deleted to give way to some new traditions. Blended families, same-sex partners, grandma's second or third marriage may bring unfamiliar people into an existing family dynamic, and you want to make them feel comfortable as well. And there is nothing wrong with exploring new traditions. Everybody may enjoy it, and getting rid of some old family traditions may actually get rid of some of the angst. Holidays can be wonderful, warm family times if they aren't already in your household. Now is the time to adjust those family traditions and address the elephant in the room. My guess is that there are others who will be thankful for your honesty and eagerly participate in making the adjustments to make sure that everybody has a good time. Thank you for joining us today. And as always, I invite you to join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, wherever you are comfortable is where you will find us. And I invite you to continue this conversation in the comments below. Perhaps you have some strategies to share with our readers and viewers about things that worked for you as we all approach the holidays. Join us next Wednesday at 12 noon, and as always, I will encourage you to remember that it takes a village to age a senior.